wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a handbag. You wouldn't steal a television. You wouldn't steal movies.
Stealing, pirating, theft, and stealing. Stealing is against
Piracy, it's a crime.
A crime I'm about to commit. Yeah. Ahoy, mateys! Do you get it? Because pirating? Yeah, I know, it's pretty funny. Anyways, pirating. That thing all big companies hate, but can't stop people from doing. I was inspired to talk about this because of a video from Lextorius. Video game piracy is good, actually. However, rather than go into the details of why pirating is bad or good, and the history of it, which by the way, go watch that video for a more in-depth analysis, I'd rather tell you from a first-hand experience why I pirate things. Is this potentially a stupid video to make? Yes. Anyways, here's why I like to pirate stuff. When I was growing up, I still lived in the era of DVD players and Blu-ray. My parents even rented DVDs from Netflix a few times. Now, can you recall the last time you saw a DVD player, let alone used one? Like seriously, the last time I saw one, let alone used one, was 6 years ago when my family was moving and we decided to get rid of my stepdad's Blu-ray DVD player. We didn't use it. We always used the little Chromecast my mom bought, and we streamed through there. We never used the DVD player again. And I never thought about it until now. Thinking about it reminded me of the large DVD collection my family used to have. Not just movies, but TV shows and cartoons included. I remember specifically having the DVD sets for SpongeBob, Flapjack, and even Foster's Home. I was always entertained. But the problem nowadays is cartoons are so scattered between streaming services that I need 20 different subscriptions just to watch them. Let's say, just as an example, I wanted to watch a Disney show. I would need Disney Plus for it. Cartoon Network shows are also spread across Netflix, Hulu, and other platforms. It's the same with Nickelodeon as well. It is genuinely such a pain nowadays just to have to access some movies or media because they're so spread out. At the time of making and writing the script, I currently have subscriptions to Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. That still isn't enough though, because even when I'm searching for a movie I want to watch, sometimes it'll be somewhere else, or I have to get a premium subscription just to watch something. Altogether, the bills for these platforms round up to maybe $50 or $60, plus whatever I have to rent on Amazon, I say with air quotes. This is why I'd rather just pirate it at this point. I can't own the movies anymore because DVD players have been rendered obsolete, and now we're coming to an age where DVDs from the past are slowly degrading and breaking down. A few years ago, my favorite movie was the SpongeBob movie, the first one, not the second. But I can no longer watch it because the DVD was already falling apart and can no longer be read by any of our players, Xbox included. And this was when Blu-ray was still popular. Very unfortunate. Oh, not to mention, before I move on, how stupidly impossible it is to stream movies as well. Sometimes I just want to show one of my friends something, but I can't do it without Hulu or Netflix having a bitch fit. Sincerely, what is the difference between streaming a movie to one or two of my friends and having one or two of those same friends sit on my couch and watch the same movie on my TV? I get it. It's supposed to prevent stealing or streaming to a whole collective of people. But my god, it's so much easier to look up 50 Shades of Grey, free! True story, we watched it, and it was awful. And I refused to pay to watch it.
Christian.
That's why I pirate a lot of the movies and shows I want to watch, just so I can watch them with friends. I can't stand it nowadays. Piracy is one of the only ways that's convenient, especially if I can't own what I'm paying for. That's at least my experience with movies and TV shows. And that's without me going into my own irritation with some of my favorite shows and movies having quote-unquote cut out moments, because I know for a fact that the shows I watch will suddenly have segments or funny bits missing from them, and I have no clue why. Maybe because streaming services have the cut version versus the uncut version. The problem that I have is with the fact that anyone who now watches these shows won't know things have been cut or not. At least when we had DVDs, we would know if we were buying the director's cut or whatever version they released. And now that's just the movie side of things. Let me tell you about the wonderful world of
Video games.
Man, so I hit the 7 seas with limited doubloons and gold. Sure is a pain at the it sure is a pain in the ship hindquarters, yar. If only there was a way to get some cool doubloons. Doubloons? Haha, did you know getting a commission could support your local art pirate? This is the sponsor because my YouTube channel is new and I don't have any other sponsors. Back to the video, Yarhar! Do I even have to go into the whole explanation that unfortunately arcades are few and far between and not everyone has a GameCube or a PS1? No? Okay, so yes, unfortunately I've pirated the hit game
Super Mario 63.
I wanted to play B3313. I'm sorry. I know now that yes, you can play a lot of older games with a Nintendo subscription.
Oh my god, fucking subscriptions are back! Oh, there's subscribers everything!
The subscriptions are back. It looks like I have to subscribe to play old games now, which is expected at this time. But Jesus. And it's a bit unfair because consoles like the PlayStation and the Xbox have started making their consoles non-backwards compatible. In fact, off the top of my head, it feels like Nintendo's the only one who's actually making old games playable on the Switch. I'm sure there's some tech mumbo-jumbo that I don't understand and haven't researched enough for this video. All I know is that it's easier to find a ROM or a hack of the game and just play it on desktop. Even if I have to use my keyboard and mouse, despite the fact that Super Mario 64 is very hard with a keyboard and a mouse. Listen, don't get me wrong, I'm not opposed to buying games. I love purchasing games when they interest me, or when it's going to a small indie developer. I haven't pirated a single indie game except Minecraft when I was like 12 and desperate. I just don't want to dedicate a portion of my bank account trying to hunt down a console plus its games with no guarantee that it will work. Because yes, unfortunately I've been fucked over more than once with used consoles and games. It's a weird kind of heartbreak, being so excited for a game or console that you love and like, that was a part of your childhood, only to find out that it's broken. I'm sure many collectors out there know how it feels, even circling back to those who collect DVDs. It sucks having a piece of nostalgia so close, yet so far away. I get it. I can just watch it on my laptop now, or I can find somewhere to play the game. But nothing will compare to the feeling of putting the game or DVD into the console and watching it boot up. My favorite memories come from dozing off during a movie or a game and being woken up by its music. I'm sure once I have the spare cash to blow, I'll hunt down my favorite consoles and games again. But for now, piracy is my only way to play the old games that I love. Like Fatal Frame for Xbox, I used to play it on my 360, and I was thinking of
$200!
While writing this, I realized piracy isn't just with games and movies. I remembered something vital: YouTube and music. Before YouTube became a lucrative site for people to make money, and even before any musicians had any official channels, I do remember several people who would upload almost any song you could look up. Were you a person who decided to look up music on YouTube during the early 2000s and 2010s?
Congratulations, you did a piracy.
Not in a huge way, but I can guarantee Mike 3252E 45256 or Bugs Bunny Lover 55 are not the official channels for Beyonce or System of a Down. I wanted to bring this up because I remember when music wasn't as easily accessible. You needed to pay money to download songs and MP3s. Not to mention, I believe iPods had limited storage too.
I'm not even gonna mention all the music subscriptions that you could get for Spotify, SoundCloud, or YouTube Music. Yeah, the subscriptions are back again, guys.
If there was a song my parents didn't have that I really wanted to listen to, I usually had to go to YouTube to listen to it first. And thank God for that. I wouldn't have gotten my great music taste and learned about Vocaloid. I thought it would be important to bring this up too, since piracy isn't always trying to download a ROM of a game and then trying to check to see if it's a hacked copy or filled with viruses, because that is unfortunately the downside of downloading files to run on your computer. They may contain some juicy little friend. I will say sorry now to my grandpa for putting a virus on your computer when trying to download Mario Paint. Sargy. Thankfully, there's at least YouTube and these random people who uploaded MP3s of the songs they had on their computer. And there wasn't a risk! I see less of it now because a lot of music artists and bands just upload their songs to YouTube directly, because it's lucrative. But I have many good memories of hunting down lyric videos for my favorite songs that were made on Windows Movie Maker, and sometimes had those little annotations all over the video telling you to subscribe, or just little notes telling you to dance and sing along. I kind of miss it. When I was discussing making this video with my partner, they brought up something I didn't even consider due to being in the United States: conversion rates. My partner is in Brazil, so things for them are exponentially more expensive for them than for me. I'm not saying the cost of subscriptions or these old games are cheap for anyone who lives in the US, but it's almost 10 times the price for my partner. At this point, would or should anyone blame them just for pirating something? For example, I have an eBay listing for a used GameCube that is about $150 to $200-ish, US dollars. But for them, it's over 1,000 reais. And by the way, I'm not even including other factors here, like the fact that most eBay listers don't ship outside of the country or overseas, not to mention the shipping costs. Sometimes shipping is ridiculous in price, even for me. And again, I'm in the US. I can't imagine what it would be like to send or receive something from eBay when you're not in the same country. Even if my partner could buy a console plus some games, they may not be able to just because of shipping or being in a different country. For me, piracy is the only way to experience games from my childhood again, at least without having to invest an arm and a leg. That's just from my personal experience though. I'm sure many others have more interesting tales of hunting down their favorite games and movies, but this is from my perspective. This isn't to convince anyone that piracy is a good or a bad thing. I just wanted to explain why I do it. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this, whether you're loyal to purchasing content or if you're like me, someone who just wants to play Mario Paint for the SNES again. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please consider supporting my
Brand spanking new channel!
and have a great everything. Bye.